Pickleball Strategy 103. Stop hitting out balls. 6 easy rules. Folks, I'm going to teach you an easy thing you can do to start winning more rallies right away. I'm going to teach you how to stop hitting out balls. An out ball is a ball that would fly out of bounds if allowed to do so. So, I'll show you how to stop returning the ball when it's going to fly out of bounds. First, let's have a look at the professionals. The pros can easily reach these out balls, but they are skilled enough to let these out balls go flying out of bounds. Watch closely and you will see that many of these shots that are flying out of bounds are not even head high as they pass the player. Many times the players must duck or dodge these out balls. The pros win many rallies by allowing out balls to fly out of bounds. If you can learn to avoid hitting out balls, you will likely win 2 or more points per game just from this skill alone. In contrast to the pros, most recreational players hit any shot they can reach, even if they have to jump to reach it. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to detect and avoid hitting out balls. Let's start by looking at a typical pickleball trajectory. When you hit a pickleball, the ball flight path or trajectory looks something like this. Air resistance or drag causes the ball to slow down. Gravity makes the ball drop. When you hit the ball very softly, the trajectory looks like this. When you hit the ball a little harder, the trajectory looks like this. As you hit harder, the trajectory becomes longer and flatter. When you hit the ball really hard, the trajectory looks like this. Notice that the trajectory of a fastball is long and nearly flat or linear for most of its path. Let's look at what happens when you hit the ball hard from various locations on the court. From deep in the court, you can hit the ball hard if you can keep it very low to the net. However, from this location, the ball will fly out of bounds if it is launched a little too high. From court locations closer to the net, it becomes more difficult to hit the ball hard and have it stay in bounds. When the ball bounces in the kitchen, it is nearly impossible to hit the ball hard and have it stay in bounds. So, most attack shots made from a dink bounce will fly out of bounds. Watch how the pros dodge these attack shots. Here are some simple rules that can help you stop hitting out balls and help you start winning more rallies. Rule number 1, above chest high, let it fly. Most good pickleball players play fully forward when possible. And most good players, when forward, use a simple rule when dealing with ground stroke fastballs that are headed their way. Above chest high, let it fly. Some folks say, shoulder high, let it fly. In other words, when you are at the non-volley zone line, don't hit any fastball coming from a ground stroke that is above chest high. Many players complain about hard-hitting bangers. You will never have any good success against bangers unless you can detect and avoid returning their out balls. If you are fully forward, remember the rule, above chest high, let it fly. It might be helpful to keep your paddle up and out front near a high point limit. This should be your limit for how high to reach for an incoming fastball. Watch how the pros let fastball ground strokes go flying out of bounds. Rule number 2, Detect and dodge the net attack. When dinking at the net, stay low and compressed and watch your opponent's paddle closely. If your opponent tries to attack when the ball is below the net, dodge the attack shot. Being compressed ahead of time can help you dodge the attack shot. Most attacks will occur when your opponent has the perfect setup of an easy forehand shot. Here's what can happen when you give your opponent an ideal body shot setup. So to keep this from happening, keep your opponent moving and reaching and hit your dink shots to open spaces or to backhands. Rule number 3. Get rid of your bad logic. Here is the typical bad logic. The ball might land in bounds. So, wouldn't it be really bad if I failed to return the ball and then it landed in bounds? Isn't it better to be safe and hit the ball instead of being sorry if the ball landed in bounds? Isn't it better to leave a margin for judgment error and return any shot that might land in bounds? Here's what happens with the take no chances logic. You returned all of these shots that would have landed here and here and here and here and here and here. Perhaps in a long, close game, you returned 8 shots that would have flown out of bounds. So here are 8 rallies you could have won. However, by returning these 8 shots, you have allowed the 8 rallies to continue. Assuming that both teams are about equal and that the game is close, you should expect each team to win about an equal number of these rallies. So for these 8 rallies that were allowed to continue, you could expect to win 4 of these, perhaps. So the consequence of returning these 8 out balls is a difference of 4 rallies. Also, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Even if you let some shots go that end up landing in bounds, you will still come out ahead so long as you are right most of the time. Rule number 4. Advise your partner by yelling, "No, it's good," or bounce it. A trajectory is better judged from the side rather than from straight on, so help your partner when you can, especially with lobs. Yell no if the lob is headed out of bounds. Yell it's good if the lob will stay in bounds. Yell bounce it if the lob might land near a boundary line. Rule number 5. Be aware of where you are on the court. Beginners sometimes volley shots back even when standing on the baseline. Whenever possible, when a ball is headed toward a boundary line, let it bounce before hitting it. Also, if your opponent is hitting on the run, reaching out, or has the wind at his back, there's a good chance that his fastball will go out of bounds. Rule number 6. Be brave, let them fly, and get yourself calibrated and trained. You can't just read about it or watch a video to get good at judging out balls. You must start letting some shots go. Again, the only way you are going to learn is by letting some shots go and seeing where they land. Yes, you will make some mistakes, but it will be worth it. On your next outing, set a goal to duck and dodge some fastballs. Learning how to detect and avoid hitting out balls will be one of the most valuable skills you will ever learn in pickleball.